Welcome you on the show, Weekend Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Aji Shafe. It's always good to talk sport this hour on this show. That has to do with the Weekend Sport there. Well, from the way it is right now, we know that this weekend is full of matches. A lot of matches are back, from the Premier League to the Spanish La Liga, Italian Serie A, not forgetting French League on. And also to let you know that activities have to do with martial art, they call it UFC, is also back to life. Our own Adesanya will be fighting the earlier time of 3 a.m. That will be on Sunday morning Nigerian time, where Adesanya will be fighting against Duplesis of South Africa. It's a battle of African brothers. Who wins that particular battle? A lot of that will be coming on the show, and also we'll be looking at some story that is actually trending in the world of sport. But before then, you saw over there just earlier, that's the Do You Know segment, where we talk about those facts, figures, and also history behind sport. Right now, let's look at our team. Even though the Tigers, they didn't go to the Olympics, we know that they couldn't make it. But looking at the FIBA ranking that was actually released earlier this week, FIBA bank ranking, the Tigers dropped 4 sport places for the second in the world, as USA maintained top sport. Well, for the Tiger, the fact that they couldn't go to the Olympics also affected their latest ranking by FIBA. And right now, they actually jumped to 42nd in the world from 4 places. And to let you know, even though they dropped, looking at African latest FIBA ranking, they are still able to make it. Try to see how they can make it there to number 6. Well, South Sudan, surprisingly, South Sudan are top in Africa ranking. To let you know that Cote d'Ivoire second, Angola, Tunisia, Egypt, Nigeria, what's a way to go there, Cape Verde, you have Senegal, Cameroon, and Guinea. That is the latest FIBA ranking for Africa men. We're now 6th in Africa and 42nd in the world. But our ladies are still making it up for us. They are number 1 in Africa, and you can't take anything away from them. They are standing number 8 in the world. Congrats to the Tigress. If the men couldn't do it, at least the ladies are representing. And if you look at the world ranking right now, concerning FIBA, USA are really top in there. They deserve it. They won the Olympics for both men and women. And you look at the fact that USA are top ahead of Serbia, also followed by Germany, France, in that pecking order. Congrats to USA, men and women. They are really doing so well, dominating the world of slam and dunk sport of basketball there. Just to let you have a feel of what is happening concerning the latest ranking coming from FIBA. And for our men, the Tigers, hopefully the MBBF will deem it fit to see how they can continue to play games and also see how they will do well. In fact, our league should be running, where we can be able to at least assess all those players that ought to be in our team. For women, they are always giving us a lot of joy, smiles every time. Back-to-back 4 times, 4-peat. We saw what they did at the Olympics. Despite the fact that they play against the world best, they were still able to hold their own 88-74. Congrats to the Tigress. And for the Tigers, let's hope that these Tigers actually wake up from their slumber and do well when next they play competition. And also, MBBF need to do something concerning our basketball. Is really dwindling right now for men. Now, still talking about Team Nigeria, this time around at the Olympics, it was a woeful performance for Team Nigeria. But, well, as it is, Nigerian athletes were still able to get some point from World Athletics. They fought their way, even though they couldn't win any medal at the Olympics, they're still getting those rating better than the way they came to the Olympics. Yeah. Nigerian athletes, latest World Athletics ranking, let's look at it quickly. The likes of Favour Ofili was able to do well for the fact that she's now ranked 8 against her 31st position in the 200-meter before the Summer Olympics in Paris. Highest rank in Africa when it comes to 200-meter women for Favour Ofili. Samuel Ogazi moved from 23rd to 12th position in 400 meters, now ranked 3rd in Africa in the event of 400 meters. Well, also Koinsola Ajayi in 100 meters is now ranked 23rd in 100 meters, 2 places better than his previous position of 25th position before Paris Olympics, 7th in the African ranking. 7th in the world means 7th fastest when it comes to African 100-meter racers for men. Shot putter Enekwechi Chikwebuka is 7th in the world after reaching the final at the Olympics, a step better than his 8th position before the games. In fact, Chikwebuka Enekwechi really deserved more because he did well getting to the final, actually placing 7th there. For Ruth Usoro, a long jumper, is now 22nd in long jump, moving to 26th from 38th in the world. And you look at, despite the fact that they didn't win any medal, they were still being rated high by world athletics in different categories of shot put, long jump, 100 meters, 200 meters, and also not forgetting 400 meters, Samuel Ogazi there. For Team Nigeria, really, imagine if they actually have been able to win either bronze, silver, or gold. What will have happened to these rankings? Well, we just saw that something good will be done concerning Team Nigeria, the next Olympics or different event that they will participate in. The Paralympic sport will be coming up over there in Paris, and it will be started by 28th of August. We want to see our Paralympic athletes that will be doing well in 4 different sports. They will be campaigning, whether it has to do with para table tennis, para badminton, para powerlifting, and also para athletics. They're wishing them the best as they prosecute those games for para. That's Team Nigeria para there. We hope this time around, Nigeria will smile, because it was not a smooth journey at all for Team Nigeria as they just concluded the Olympics in Paris there. A lot of issues that have to do with Team Nigeria. Well, let's leave that aside and talk about our ladies. FIFA ranking latest, that has to do with Super Falcons. Super Falcons also, they tried their best, although they remain unmoved so far, remaining 36th, 36th in the world when it comes to the ranking, number 1 in Africa. Well, good one for them, even though they remain unmoved. They didn't leave the place they were last time, and now they still remain 36th in the world. Super Falcons, they tried their best at the Olympics, but it didn't go well. But now they still retain the position as number 1 in Africa, ahead of the Bayana of South Africa, who are second on the log. Congrats to Super Falcons. It seems the ladies in sport always making us so proud when it comes to sporting moment across the globe. We are so proud of them, and we just have to always give them kudos for what they've done. Well, right now, quickly, joining us to talk sport this hour from Kaduna is Joseph Peters. Good to have you, Joseph.
Good morning.
Yes,
thank you for having me.
We're talking about rankings of D Tigers, Super Falcons, and also Nigerian athletes at the Olympics. And it has, from the way it is, Super Falcons remains at the 6th in the world and number 1 in Africa. D Tigers, well, as it is, they are 6th in the world, rather in Africa. So the kind of ranking that Nigerians were not expecting. South Sudan are top. You look at a nation of that magnitude, topping basketball in Africa right now in the rankings. And also for our athletes, some of them being able to up their antics in the latest ranking by World Athletics. And that's what we were discussing before you actually join us. So, Joseph, in the latest ranking by FIBA and also Super Falcons, where are you dwelling?
I'm okay with it, as long as we've not regressed. Whenever there is regression, that's when you begin to think things are actually very, very bad. But for the fact that there's no regression, for the fact that we are just where we used to be, it means that we have not actually, dropped, but we can also do better by, increasing our levels by, performing better and, getting to a better height than where we are now. So I'm quite okay with that. I'm very, very much okay with that. Let them just look at what they need to be doing. Although, we don't want to think too much about rankings, right? All we need to concentrate on is competitions that we are attending, need to qualify, and all those kinds of games, all those kind of challenges are what will improve one's performance or in the standings, right? So if we do better in all these competitions, we grow our performance, in qualifications. I'm sure that the ranking will also favor.
Okay, there. Well, for the fact that we need to do well by competing in different competitions, that will actually help our teams. Coming from Joseph Peter, joining us from Kaduna there. While we are still with Joseph Peter, or this time around, the house is full. Joseph, it's not only you that will be doing the talking today. We have at least 2 other sports analysts that will be joining us physically in the studio to talk sport. But before we'll be unveiling them, let's quickly talk about CAF. Well, for CAF Champions League, CAF Confederation, all the participating clubs, according to CAF, they will be getting $50,000 as a participating fee for the fact that they are participating in CAF interclub competition. That's a good one coming from CAF. All the teams participating in the CAF interclub competition will be getting their participation fee of $50,000. At least a good move from CAF, trying to see how they can help these teams. And if you look at Nigerian teams, Remo Stars, Rangers International, El Kanemi Warriors, and don't forget the Eyimba, all of them will get this amount of money. And the good thing is that at least it will help them to at least augment some fees that they will be incurring during those games. Well, before that, this particular money is not available. It actually starts from quarterfinals, but now CAF deem it fit to add this category of fee to the money, the prize money that will be at least gotten by all the teams there. That's a good one there. But for the fixtures, CAF competition is back. And we know that this weekend, the likes of Rangers and Remo Stars will be fighting hard. Not forgetting El Kanemi. Let's quickly look at CAF Champions League fixtures for this weekend. Games will be coming up in different categories where we have Nigerian teams that will be playing. Well, from the way it is, we know that our own team will be playing there. We have Remo Stars and also Rangers International. They'll be fighting hard to see how they will do. Well, Remo will be playing against AS FAR of Morocco, while Rangers will play against US Zilmajo. That's a team from Comoros. The two of them will be fighting hard to see how they will do well there. But the main thing right now is that CAF Champions League is back. CAF Competition is also back. This is the preliminary stage, and they will be going at least getting $50,000 for participating in this particular preliminary stage. That's a good one coming from CAF. And now let me start with you, Joseph. From the way it is now, you can see our two teams there with the green, white, green color, Rangers, Zilimanjo, and also Remo Stars versus AS FAR of Morocco. The preliminary match is coming up this weekend, the first leg.
Before I talk about the preliminary matches, I like the fact that CAF has added that prize money to qualifications and preliminary. This club would use money, right, to for logistics, especially, and for payments of their players. So it's a good thing. I'm sure you'd agree with me that money is the engine room of football. It's what makes it tick. If there's no money, then we won't have all the games staged the way it is, and all the performances will not be so competing. So it's a very, very good move by FIFA, by CAF rather. As for our games, and our teams, playing in the Confederations Cup, they need to just. I'm sure they must have prepared for it. When Remo needs to get an away draw, and then Rangers need to get an away draw, while Remo needs to win at home and win very well. For them to face these kinds of things, for me, is an advantage, because they are not the elites of football, but they are not the elites of African football, rather. So this is a good advantage. However, I'm sure you would agree with me that when it comes to performance, it is expected that the Nigerians, when it comes to these particular games, so I do not expect anything less than a draw at least for Rangers United, and then a win for Remo Stars, and not just any kind of win, a very, very good resounding kind of win that would kind of demoralize the opponent or stop the opponent from trying to replicate in their own homes. So if they're able to do that, I'm sure that they'll move from this preliminary round into the main round of the competition.
Well, a big one there for our teams. They'll be playing this weekend the preliminary stages of a CAF competition, starts CAF Champions League and also CAF Confederation. Eyimba is standing by for their record at the CAF competition. So, from the way it is right now, a big one there. Now, join us in the studio this time around. We have a gentleman in the studio. The man that is wearing Madrid. I'm sure he fell in love with Madrid after they won the Super Cup. Although he's a Manchester United fan. Adebayo Adelakun is here. Good to have you.
Good to have you here. Good morning.
Okay, and also the man with white. Chelsea fan wearing white color. Well, good one. Julius Okafor is here. Good to have you.
Good to have you too.
Okay, let's start with Adelakun. We are talking about CAF, at least trying to see how they can encourage all the clubs that are playing in this competition. $50,000 for them, and we have Nigerians that will be playing there. So I'm sure this is a good move from CAF.
Definitely, it's actually a good move. It's a step in the right direction, and over time, we know that these clubs, they've actually suffered a lot of issue with funding, and this 50,000 coming in is something that's going to help them to a very great extent. Though it's we can see it's a bit small as compared to the counterparts in other continents and all that, but this is the first time it's coming up, and it's something that we believe it will surely assist them in putting some logistics in place.
Okay, putting logistics in place. I'm sure Julius want to agree with that. No matter how small, that's like about 80 million naira Nigerian money. According to Adelakun, the money is small, but at least better than when they don't used to get it. So it's good omen that, in fact, CAF deemed it fit to give them the money to award $50,000 to all the participating clubs. So how do you see this?
It's a good one in the right direction. No matter how small it is, it goes a long way in football, money plays a lot of role because it involves a whole lot of logistics, a lot of expenses, traveling, and all of the whole expenses that is around football. So for me, it's a very good one. It's a plus, and we believe with time we are going to improve on that. So kudos to CAF, and the team also should be able to utilize it. That is another thing. It's not all about bringing in money. It's all about putting it into the team at when do and where it needs to be done. We know our stuff the way it used to go, so we don't want to go that direction. We believe they're going to do what they need to do.
Okay, you're going to explain those stuff anyway. Well, for Joseph, we've seen that there are counterparts in the studio now. It's a big one for this weekend. Before we go to the main matches for this, we know that Chelsea will playing Man City, big match coming up. But let's digress a bit from football just to talk about a UFC fight that will be coming up in Australia, over there in Perth, Australia. Early Sunday morning over there in Australia, but in Nigeria, rather early morning Nigerian time. It's actually be morning for Saturday in Australia. Well, by 3 a.m. Adesanya will be facing Duplesis of South Africa in a battle of African brothers. That's UFC 305. This particular fight has a lot of grudges. We know the rivalry between South Africa and Nigeria. We know the rivalry between Duplesis and Adesanya. In fact, it got so emotional yesterday. Adesanya had to shed some tears for the fact that he said Duplesis doesn't know where it's coming from and all that. It's a big fight. Adesanya has not fought for like 11 months. Adesanya tried to come back, and although he has won this twice, this particular belt, for Duplesis, he actually was able to defeat Strickland, who defeated Adesanya. So it's a kind of interwoven right now. This game, this big fight, is coming up 3 a.m. Nigerian time. And Nigerians can't wait to see, because a lot of Nigerians are not happy for the fact that Duplesis seems to be claiming that he's a real African, that Kamaru Usman, Adesanya, and also Ngalo, the Cameroonian, are fighting outside Africa. They are not based here. So with that, Ngannou, Kamaru Usman, Adesanya are not African, according to him. But Adesanya says he's going to show him that he's a true son of the soil as a Nigerian who know they carry last. What a fight coming up. Let's start with you, Joseph, quickly.
You know, I have a question for Plessy. If he says Adesanya and Kamaru are not Nigerians, then he should stop fighting them there. Let them go and keep fighting, internationally for those countries, in those countries and for those countries. Then he should come and face, Africans fighting. If there's any competition that is like UFC Africa, then he should leave playing UFC. He should leave fighting in UFC and come and fight in Africa. Then we will know that for sure he is an African son, an African child that never, contradicts or plays for any other place. But he is the champion. He has been winning. He has not lost any game so far. So the confidence in him is high up there. For Adesanya, this is about, redemption. This is more emotional for Adesanya. It's about redemption. It's about, fixing that loss he had last year. And I'm quite sure that he will do a lot. He's going to fight tooth and ache in order to win this particular encounter. And coming to the fact that this is also about rivalry. It's all about originality. It's going to be very, very, very difficult. It's going to be a very, very tight game. It's going to be a very, very technical game. But it's all about who has a better plan and who gets to impose that plan. We wish Gabriel Adesanya the best as a Nigerian that he is. But we do not expect him to lose this particular encounter. He must win. For us, it's about pride. It's a thing of pride now. The game is all about pride now. The game is squaring Nigeria against South Africa right now. So I'm sure that it means a lot to him in as much as it means to us. So it's not just about us, the supporters. It's also about him. You can see the tears and everything that comes with it. It tells you how much he wants it, how much he desires,
Joseph,
and how much that he wants to get back into this, competition, actually do well.
Joseph.
So we just wish him the best.
Joseph, just stay there so that we can have it all rounder. Well, right now, let's hear from Adebayo for this particular fight. It's a kind of a big fight. South Africa, Nigeria, anytime we meet, it's like Nigeria, Ghana. The rivalry is not from where, as we speak in our own parlance. How do you see this fight coming up?
It's more of a pride thing, like Joseph rightly said. It's bigger than Adesanya and Duplesis, as far as I'm concerned. It's more like Nigeria against South Africa. And when it comes to Nigeria against South Africa, it's more like a bragging right. From several competitions we've had in the past, they are always there trying to compete with Nigeria. And the truth is, they still don't want to accept that we are their brothers. We are their big brother, actually. So they always try to catch up with us, but we'll always be ahead of them.
Okay.
You know, recently we see what happened in the beauty pageant that happened in South Africa. The way they always take it personally when it comes to the Nigeria issue. So this is actually beyond Adesanya, and we believe the 200 million Nigerians, we are rightly behind him, and he's going to give us the victory.
Let's see how that'll be happening. Look at the faces there. Julius, where are you pitching your tent? Is it the black man or the white man?
It's always the black man. Black man, for God's sake. Okay, for me, I think the young man from South Africa is trying to play mind game by telling Adesanya he's not a Nigerian and the rest part of how he's saying. He's trying to play mind game just to get him to drop in times of strength. That is what I see it to be. It happens in football when you have a bigger opponent, you try to play mind game to them, and when they put their trust, when they put their mind on what you are saying on the media, they take advantage of it, and before he knows it, everything is over. So for me, I tell him to concentrate. He's better than him, he can do it. He has been doing it out of the shows of the African soil. He can do it anywhere. He's my man. I followed him everywhere. I like his move. I like the way he does his thing. He does his thing real, and that is who he is. As for now, he said he has gained enough weight and he's fast and he's good with his body. We are right behind him. He's going to show us the bragging. It's a bragging right. It's about Nigeria and South Africa, and this time we know Nigeria is going to go all the way.
A big one there coming from the style brand. Well, a lot of people call him the style brand. That's the name he's actually known for, with all the razzmatazz demonstration, the dance move and everything that has to do with Israel Adesanya fighting against Duplesis of South Africa. Big fight coming up. 3 a.m. Nigerian time. Well, it's a big one because we want to wake up to say that he has won. We wish him the best there. We're talking about that fight. It's a real big fight between Nigeria and South Africa. We wish Adesanya the best. Why are we talking about Adesanya? Well, the Premier League is back. Football is back. Almost all the nations right now are beginning to see who will win the race. Which manager will be sacked first? Who will win this tournament for this season? Well, for Premier League, it has started. And yesterday, a good one for Manchester United. Joshua Zirkzee was able to score that goal in the 7th minute, and it was a good one for him. And he was able to at least give them the 3 points they needed against Fulham. Well, for Nigerians, Alex Iwobi and also Calvin Bassey, starting on that note, they need to up their ante. They fought out in the 87th minute, and they lost by that goal scored by Joshua Zirkzee there. Well, this particular goal was the difference that made this match for Manchester United to get 3 points.
Yeah, definitely. It actually came at the right time. You know, no better time to score your debut goal, but scoring the clutch goal. It is 7 minutes. Rashford, we hope he's not going to have the same season he had last season. You know, it's actually a game they could have put to bed earlier before that time. And it's a game that if you look at it very well, when United tried to open up the game, you know, by bringing out players like Mount and all that, it opened up the game. And we shouldn't take the fact that Fulham actually had their moments. They had their moments. On a couple of occasions, they had like 4 versus 2 situations, which they didn't use very well. If they had used it, probably we wouldn't have been having this conversation we're having about United winning. And there was also a 2 versus 1 situation they also wasted. So all in all, it's actually a fully deserved victory for United, and it's a sign of good things to come. Clean sheets, a lot of positives. But there are room for improvement.
I remember your coach now. Let me clear it for fans out there who are watching that you are a Manchester United fan, even though you are wearing Madrid jersey. Your coach, Erik ten Hag, was saying United are not ready. It's kind of a mind game, or he's just trying to conserve their energy.
Okay, I wouldn't want to make an excuse for him, but in a way, he has a point actually. Now, not ready in the sense that the players are there actually. Not ready is like he has not really gotten the new players to play the way he would have wanted to play. And we shouldn't forget that some players actually went for summer competition, Copa America and Euro. So some of them, they came in briefly, or they just started training last week, like Garnacho, Martinez. The first match they played for United was last week, so they probably missed the deal of the preseason. So that's the angle he's trying to come from. And if you also look at Zirkzee when he entered, he wasn't that fully fit, and you could see that there's still that a bit of misunderstanding between him and other players. They are trying to understand him. If you look at the goal very well, it's not because of Bruno's smartness, because apart from the fact that he used his body to actually beat the Fulham player. He was able to spot sexy and give him the right pass. You know, it's that kind of striker that they will need to understand it to play with. It's not like a proper 9. So those are one of those he's talking about. They are not ready. You know, he will need to blend in some new players. But all in all, he actually has the players. He has the players that can actually play the kind of football he wants to play now. So no excuse for him.
Okay, no excuse from Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag. We've been in the studio and it's really getting hotter now before we go to the biggest one. Quickly, just chip in something concerning that game. Man United Fulham.
For me, Harry Maguire is man of the match for me.
Okay.
As long as that match is concerned, I give him 100%. In fact, when he was being subbed, I was upset. I actually pinched my tent with them. Then the new striker that came in, that new striker, aside from scoring a goal, it took a few minutes for him to get into the game. But the moment he got into the game, his touches was perfect.
Exactly, right.
He was dropping into the midfield, do the touches, take off front, take his position, and he was able to get the goal. Another man is to put him to so in general, I think Manchester United deserve their win. They were deserve win, and I actually predicted that they're going to win because for a very long time in every open game of Manchester United, they have not actually lose. Averagely, they have had like 70 to 80% of winning rate. So for me, I know it's going to be a win, even if he came very late. But I expected it that it's going to happen. Good one for them.
Good one for Manchester United. Starting on that very good note there, Adelaku and Julius actually spoken concerning this game. And now we are rolling into the big one. We know that Premier League is back, La Liga is back, Italian Serie A, French League One also back. Well, games were played, for that's La Liga, Italian Serie A, and also Premier League for Manchester United against Fulham. Good one for them. But right now, there are some rules. Yes, Premier League new rules actually being unveiled by the Premier organizers, where team news will now be released 75 minutes before kickoff. I just hope the MPFL can learn from this. I don't know why they're always holding the team list till when they've started the game. That's when you begin to see the team list. MPFL should take a cue from this. 75 minutes before kickoff, the news of that team will be out. No mid-season Christmas break for the players. Stoppage time will be shorter. Semi-automated offside will be introduced but won't start until after the international break in September, October, or even November. Only the captain can speak to the referee. Any other player will be automatically carded if they confront officials. Referees will no longer automatically give a yellow card for non-deliberate handballs. VAR officials will not get involved in subjective decisions. Only clear and obvious errors will be looked at, not to delay games. Good one coming from Premier League new rules, and really they are trying to see how they can get to at least enjoy football. That's why they actually come up with all these rules. And now matches for this weekend, let's run through them. Ipswich versus Liverpool, Arsenal, Wolves. You look at Brighton against Everton, Newcastle, Southampton, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, and you have Aston Villa away to West Ham United in London, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Man City. That's where we are dwelling. We are coming there. And Leicester City versus Tottenham Hotspur. Those are the games. While we actually showcase all these games, let's quickly look at Spanish La Liga, Italian Serie A, and also French League One. After that, we come back and talk about Chelsea and Man City. Matches for you there in the French League One, Italian Serie A, La Liga, and also Premier League. Although the big one happening this weekend, in fact, the whole world want to see what with the actually a member of Chelsea. I will call him a fan. One of the other fans says over bloated Chelsea. Well, they will be playing against Manchester City, and that's a game that will be happening. Big one coming up this weekend. Talking about Chelsea versus Manchester City. Quickly, let's start from Joe. Big match between the Godfather and his son, Maresca versus Guardiola. Joseph Peter, let's start from you before we round it over to Adelaku and also Okafor. From you, Maresca versus Guardiola. Both of them are ending with AA. So who wins this battle?
It is going to be a very, very tough battle. The student against his master, against his teacher. But I don't know how Chelsea offended the FA. Last 2 seasons, the first game was Man United. Last season, the first game was Liverpool. Now this season, the first game is Man City. Probably next season, the first game will be Arsenal for them. So I don't know how they offended FA. But it's going to be a difficult one for both Man City and Chelsea. The reason why I say so is because even though Man City have had edge most times, against most of the top 6 and most of the top 8 clubs in England, still yet Chelsea have found a way to make it difficult for them. I've seen the 4-4 draw last season, and I wasn't expecting that from Chelsea. But Chelsea are not really where they want to be. They've been struggling, in the subsequent season trying to build a team, but it's been breaking out, and then, like you said, overfloated team right now with too many players without no conclusion as to where they want to play and how they want to play. Yet, even in the preseason, they lost all their preseason games, and it hasn't really been a good preseason for them. So looking at all this, you might want to tilt towards Manchester City winning the game. But then even Man City themselves are not exactly where they are, where we knew them to be. This is the beginning of the season. Of course, coaches would have excuses like Ten Hag had, lack of availability of players, lack of the fact that the transfer window has not closed yet, so nobody is sure about anything concerning his team. Nevertheless, Guardiola knows how to make his team play. He knows how to, put up the team. Even though Rodri will not be part of this game, I still would want to believe that Man City would, win this particular match away at the Stamford Bridge. And the reason is all down to the fact that Chelsea do not exactly know what they want yet. There are too many players there. There are too many, problems for them. They have not sorted it out. They've not done the signings that they want to do. And just because of that reason, I'd want to believe that Man City should be able to win this particular match.
Okay, that's from Joseph there. Let's hear from Adebayo Adelakun also. Let's maybe we're pitching, after all, he's a Manchester United fan. And beside him is a Chelsea fan. So the battle is defend the city of Manchester. Adebayo, let's look at this. This match is a big one between Oga and maybe I don't want to call him servant, I don't want to call him junior master, but both of them are Ogas now. So Maresca versus Guardiola.
Actually, to be very candid, I'm sure Maresca will not be happy with the kind of preseason he actually had. But we shouldn't take anything away from him. And what he did at Leicester last season, it's something that's actually admirable. It's something that one should be proud of. He did excellently well with Leicester City, and only that it's so unfortunate he's starting his season with Man City, as big as they are. Would have been easier for him. He was going to start with maybe a mid-table club or lower club for him to actually perfect his strategies. His season, the preseason, he plays 6 matches, won only 1 against Club American. It's not something that's okay. But what I can take away from his preseason was he was trying to implement his strategy, and he tried using different defense combination and all that, which actually didn't work out well for him. And from what I've seen so far in what he played during the preseason, he's the kind of coach that likes playing possession-based football, pass from the back, and there's still that misunderstanding among the defenders. They try to play from the back, even with the keeper. They don't seem to get it right, which is actually understandable. Some of these guys, they are used to certain system they are playing before in last season. So they are meeting a new coach who is coming up with a new system. So definitely there'll be time to try so many things, make mistakes and all that. And like Joseph actually said, we are talking about big games now. Preseason is over now. Chelsea City. And the record over the years now has actually been for Chelsea. They've actually not lost. They've been playing draw, kind of. The last time actually defeated City was 2021. So it's not something that's actually bad for them, and it's just like something that can allow them to actually test their mettle against Man City. And Man City themselves, they actually struggled to defeat United last week. Probably because they're missing Rodri, and Alvarez is no longer there. So Chelsea can actually try their luck, and I can give them a shot. It's not something that City will just roll over them, and they actually are home. So anything can actually happen, really.
Anything can happen there. Well, for him, Chelsea can speak of surprise, but I'm surprised that you are supporting Chelsea stylishly. Is it because of the fact that you're a Man United fan and you don't want to go with the City, not to call it Manchester City? Well, Julius Okafor, you are a Chelsea fan, so I can expect you to 100% support the Blues.
Okay, for me, the match is not going to look or is not going to be the way people expect it to be because of the name Manchester City versus Chelsea and because of the current situation on ground surrounding both clubs. I think Chelsea is going through transition since last season, and for some players that have been there last season, they think this season is their first season actually, because there was nothing to actually hold on for last season. For me, for the new coach, is trying to implement a system. That is what I saw in the preseason. Just like Adebayo said, he's trying to implement a tactics of play the way he wants them to play. And for me, I don't actually rate him by preseasons. The atmosphere in the preseason is quite different from the league, because the setting of the league is quite different, and your mindset is going to change. You are going to have a different mindset when you play the league compared to the preseason. So for me, the preseason is not actually the wrap-up of the team of what you want to see. You can see a bad preseason and you can wake up and see another different thing entirely, as long as football is concerned. So I don't want to judge, I want to look at the preseason. The preseason has come and gone. We are into the league now. And playing Man City is a good one for them to be able to test what they are practicing to see if actually is working. Just like he said, it's just about when you try to possess football, when you're trying to possess the game, there's bound to make mistakes. It happens in every team. You see with Onana, when Manchester are trying to keep possession. Even yesterday match, you saw Fulham goalkeeper making a wrong back pass. That is the things you expect from either defender and the goalkeeper, and it happens. One thing I think Chelsea should be able to do now is ability to keep away from conceding goals. That is one thing that they are lacking right now. Because if it's about chances, they create a whole lot of chances. Man City was 4 goals up them against them in the preseason. They came back and they had 2 goals. It's not easy. If Man City has 4 goals against you, they can actually go ahead to give you like 7 if you don't take time. But for you to be able to keep it there, and so if you're able to correct that errors that makes you to concede earlier before time, you can actually go a long way. So I see them building something, and Guardiola said it. He only needs time. The young coach needs time to be able to implement whatever styles he wants to play. And for me, I think he has all the qualities and everything that he needs. And let's not forget, Chelsea in every year has always had large number of players, anytime you can think of it. Previously, they used to have the large number of academy loan players in the whole world. They have it everywhere. It's not new to us. We are new to. We are into it, and that is what we do.
Okay, we have seen you, Chelsea fan. We have seen that. In Nigeria, we have a way of coining names for different clubs, but I won't call the name of Chelsea club. Already, you know the name they call you guys. But let's not mention the name. But seriously, this season is going to be a tough one for all the clubs because it's getting tougher and tougher for the race of the Premier League there. Well, let's just see, maybe 2 or 3 Nigerians can make it to call in, and let's hear their own view. Let's have the phone line there for them to be able to talk. But while we are expecting your call, please, when you call, stay away from your TV set or turn down the volume. Mention your name, your location, and then make your point. Who wins between Chelsea and Manchester City? Is it a battle of the Blues versus Sky Blue? Who wins this battle? Well, we're waiting for your call, 2 or 3 people before we wrap it up. Now, we start with Adebayo this time around. Let's at least do some little mix-up there. Adebayo, for this match between Chelsea and Manchester City, who is the player that you think will do the magic for you? Pick one for Chelsea, pick one for Manchester City.
Okay, for Chelsea, looking at the preseason so far,
you are the man of preseason. He is the man of
no, you can still take 1 or 2 things from preseason. Actually, yes. Preseason we're able to actually understand what the coach is trying to do. Definitely there'll be mistakes. There'll be a lot of mistakes. We've seen clubs that actually had a very good preseason, but have a very terrible season.
They score their goals. Let's not mention their names.
So like I said now, okay. Tehran, for instance, last season, he had a very good preseason last season. But the season started, they had a very terrible season. The worst in Man U history. That was recorded last season. So the preseason can actually be deceptive, really, if you focus too much on it.
Okay.
Pep Guardiola, for instance, Ancelotti, for instance, he said it straight that he doesn't like preseason. because players can get injured. You have so many things to deal with.
Okay, so who are you picking to make the magic for Chelsea or Manchester City?
I look at Nkunku. Nkunku happens to be a very good player, but unfortunately, he had a very terrible season because of injuries. And like I said, it's going to be like a new season for some players. And one of those players I'm looking at is Nkunku.
Okay.
I see him making the mark from Chelsea tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, for Manchester City.
For City, Haaland, as usual, he's always had a good record against Chelsea, always, eating all those goals. So I see him still doing the same thing today.
Okay,
Okay,
good one. The Chelsea man. I'm sure you want to go with your best player last season. Let me not mention. You should be the one to mention his name.
Cole Palmer.
I know.
Cole Palmer for me.
I expect that from you anyway.
He's not going back, because even after the league, you saw him in the Euro.
Okay. Let's call the Cole Palmer man.
Okay.
Let's keep you. We have a caller there who wants to contribute. Hello, are you there? Okay, I think maybe immediately you mention Cole Palmer. He's a Man City fan. Go on.
Cole Palmer for me is the man. After the league last season, he didn't stop there. He went to the Euro and he showed consistency. He was able to put in, he was able to help England to get to where they actually ended up. So for me, coming back this time, it's still Cole Palmer for me.
Okay, while you are holding your Cole Palmer, hello, are you there? Hello, good to have you on the show. Can you hear us? Okay, seems okay. We can hear you now. Good to have you on Weekend Sport.
Yeah.
Your name and your location. Are you there? Okay, so go back, Mr. Palmer.
So for me, he is the man for Chelsea for me. I'm pushing my hand on him. I'm still holding on to him. He's a creative player. He's a decisive player that can decide what happens in a game. Then for Manchester City, I think Haaland.
Haaland will still do the magic according to...
I'm still expecting him to come up against Chelsea.
Okay. For Adebayo, for Julius Okafor, they actually pick Haaland while he's going for Okuku. Okafor is saying Palmer should be the one to run things around for them in this big match. Well, Joseph, I'm sure as an Arsenal fan, you are beefing the two clubs. So from the way it is now, your team, no matter how you want to hate these guys, they will be playing tomorrow. So who are you staying with? I'm sure you are not even supporting anyone.
I'm not absolutely. I just want a draw to happen. I just want a draw for that game. And I want to ask Adebayo, why is he wearing Real Madrid the jersey? Is it afraid that Man U are not going to do well this season or what? You are wearing my Madrid jersey you should wear it proud of yourself. Anyway, I'd like to talk about Chelsea as a whole. Looking at the bigger picture, and a lot of points have been made in the studio as per this and that. But the two of them mentioned how the coach is trying to play from the back. Well, I just want to remind them that when you come in as a coach, you blend with the team. You are the one that would adapt to the whole of the team. Not all the players just change to follow your way. It's very, very.
Joseph, we have a caller. Let's quickly hear what he wants to say or she wants to say. Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Let's have you quickly. Good morning. Good to have you on the show. What's your name and your location?
I'm called. My name is Lekon. I'm calling from Gogolada.
Okay. How is Gogolada? Make your point straight.
Yeah, between Chelsea and Man City, I think Man City all the way.
Okay.
Thank you.
You are supporting Man City all the way.
Yeah.
Lekon, are you sure you are not beside any Chelsea fan there? Are you there, Lekon? Okay, Lekon seems, maybe, I hope one Chelsea fan has not given Lekon blow. Lekon seems to be off. Immediately he said yes. I guess a blow came from a Chelsea fan. Okay, Joseph, quick, did I hear as usual?
Something like that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's not go there. With all due respect to Chelsea fans out there, the studio is bubbly and also buzzing. Well, Joseph, you're making a point.
Yeah, so I was saying that Maresca needs to adapt to what he has. If you're coming into a team and you have certain players that cannot transmit what you know or what you want, You need to, give yourself time and give them time. Allow them to play. Try to, get the best out of what they can actually do, and make them to play that way that they can play, while you work on replacing them. It takes 2 seasons, 3 seasons, team coach is built in. That's what Guardiola did. That's what Arteta is doing. That's what Ten Hag wants to do. All right. So he cannot just come in today and you have these defenders that cannot keep the ball and the keeper start from the back, and you want them to change overnight and do that. It's not possible.
I know you are boiling already. You are angry. You want to find a way to destroy the two clubs. Good one. Just one word, the score line for this match: Chelsea, Man City.
3-2 to Man City. Yeah.
3-2 to Man City. Okay, Adebayo, your score line.
3-2. I'll go with Joseph.
Seriously? Why are you guys ganging up against Chelsea? I'll support Chelsea, man. Anyway, Okafor.
2-1 in favor of Chelsea.
Of course, I expect that to happen. Well, at least it's now 2-1. Let me support Okafor. It's also going to be 1-0 Chelsea. Well, just at least let's make it 2-2 to balance up. Even though Lekon, I just hope that you have not received a blow from Chelsea fan for supporting Manchester City. There, I just add some spice in the studio. We've been with Julius Okafor, and also want to appreciate your time for coming to the studio to join us. Okafor.
Thank you so much.
And also, Adebayo Adelakun, this is your debut appearance, and they want to appreciate you. I just hope that your team will continue to win. Manchester United.
Definitely. Manchester is ready.
Despite you wearing Real Madrid. Okay, good one. Good to see you. Well, for Joseph Peter, I know you are a Gunner, and you are not happy with either Man City, Man U, Liverpool, or Chelsea. We wish your club the best, and you are wearing...
Brazil football.
Okay, so we want to appreciate your time with us on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. And please, Mr. Ade should get a Man U jersey. If he wants to win anything, if he wants to go to the Champions League, get a Man U jersey.
Okay, that's for Adebayo, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it has been a bubbling time in the studio. We have Joseph Peter from Kaduna joining us, and also not forgetting the man with Real Madrid jersey, Man United fan Adebayo Adelakun, and also the Chelsea man.